I remember when our doctor told me, okay, we need to put you on this and we're going to give you this. And I told him no. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Tell me what I need to do to change this and I could go from there. On my research alone, it had to just increase the dosage of the medication. I'm like, well, that's not solving the problem. So in turn, the lifestyle changes from start to finish from 11.3, 7.1. And that's without medication. And I've been coming here now for about 9 months. I learned about it, I want to say, I think it was a Facebook post or something online I saw. And I said, let me take a chance and, see what other alternatives there are, because taking medication, it doesn't really cure the problem. All it does is cover it up. And that didn't seem to work. It didn't work for my father. He passed away. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that route. The treatment is individual based, because you have to take your realization that it's not a cure per se, but you are the one that makes the difference in this process. So it will give you enough time for your body to recover from, your insulin being so high all the time. Because when I started, I was at 330, I think it was, because it was a really high, and I didn't know how high it was until I went to the hospital, and then they said yes, they had to keep me overnight to make sure everything was okay. So in turn, they wanted to, get me on an insulin regimen and stuff. I'm like, is that going to solve the problem? They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, so why am I doing it? In turn, the treatment that they have here started getting me lower gradually from, as I said, 9 months in total. But I started off at 330 or 320, something like that. I don't know the exact number. Then it went to 270. Then it went to 240. Then it went to 220. Then it went to 170. Then it's at 160 now. On an average, I could get to 100 to about 89, between 89 and 100 on my own now. My original treatment started off with twice a week. Then we changed it, I want to say 6 months into it, we went to just once a week, because it was, I didn't need it every time, because when I came by sometime I was already at 100. So I had to actually force myself to get the insulin or my resistance to be higher, to where my sugar level was higher. And then in turn, it was like, okay, I need to, take a step back with it. But with that, I would say I can, on average now, every day I could go all the way down to 100 or 98. It goes up when I eat, and of course you have to watch what you eat. If you don't do that, it's not going to work. You have to change and it's not like changing your lifestyle, it's just eating healthier. That's it. Because eating away got you into this, eating away is going to help you get out of it. This is not going to cure it, but if you don't follow a regimen to make sure you eat the right food, and sometimes even fasting, that helps. But you're training your body to understand that you've been taking in garbage all this time, and I'm 53 years old. So for all my life, I've been basically in some way or another eating the wrong food. And now it's affecting me to the point where it took me less than a year to get my body to refresh itself, to say, okay, those are garbage, this is what you're supposed to be eating, we could get back to normal. But it's a process. The people, they make you feel at home, getting to understand this is your life changes that they're investing in you, and you have to open up to say, okay, I'm ready to make this change in myself. And they encourage you to look at data and look at what you're eating and how you're eating it. And using the Lifestyle Libre 3 I'm using to keep track of the food that I'm eating, to at least see where it spikes and when it doesn't spike. We'll sit down with the ladies here to go over the chart to figure out, okay, this is where we are now, what's working, what's not working, and get involved where that's concerned. Because some people will just, sit there and thinking, okay, I got the treatment, I'm good. No, you're not. You gotta not do that. That's not gonna work. You have to actually ask questions. Okay, what time of day or night you're eating, how late you're eating, and they'll tell you, okay, you can't do that. You need to do this to get your body to come to the realization this is where you start up, and they guide you in that process, which is good, because sometimes you don't realize it until you get older, when your parents used to tell you stuff to the effect of eat your vegetables or don't eat too late. And there was no scientific reason in the past to say why they said that, but now we realize there was a scientific process to it. So in that sense, it's a good thing. Starting the treatment here is a good idea, but you can have the mindset that you're going to come here, sit down, take the treatment, but when you go home, you're not doing anything different, because then you're wasting your time. So don't do that. If you don't want to make a change, indefinite insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you are not ready to make a change, don't come, because you're going to waste your time and theirs. And that's not the reason for them being here, is to help you get back to more stable life, to where you don't have to be on medication. I remember when my doctor told me, okay, we need to put you on this and we're going to give you this. And I told him no, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Tell me what I need to do to change this, and I could go from there. But if you're telling me this is the alternative and there's nothing I can do, and that's not the case. If you want to make a change, you can make it. And the good part about it, they're here to help you get to that point. So if you're serious, come on in. When I went to the hospital, and the A1C was ridiculously high at the time, it was past 11 if I'm not mistaken, and the doctor said, oh no, your sugar level was, before he wanted to send me to the hospital, it was at 400. And he said, okay, the next day I think he gave me some, I guess, I don't know if it was insulin shot or whatever, to bring it down, because he said it was too high. He couldn't let me go home. And I was like, okay, so what's the alternative? What I need to do? He's like, oh, there's nothing you need to do. You need to take this medication. I'm like, but is this going to solve the problem? He's like, well, it's not going to solve the problem. It's going to control it. I'm like, control it how? And on my research alone, it was basically kept going up and up. It wouldn't solve the problem. They'd have to just increase the dosage of the medication. I'm like, well, that's not solving the problem. So in turn, lifestyle changes from start to finish, from 11.3, and I just did a test with my insurance company for life insurance, from 11.3 to 7.1, and that's without medication. And it's for all of us to realize, when you're going for life insurance too, they look at all of that, because they'll let you know, oh, you're not on the medication? Okay, well, that's great, because if you're on medication, they want to charge you more. At the end of the day, if you are ready for the treatment, or ready to change your life and live longer and find a motivation for yourself, because I would like to walk my daughters down the aisle. So that's the other reason. I like to live a healthy life, and one girl's in college, one's going next year, and we're going to be empty nesters, so I'd like to enjoy it with my wife.